Okay, so this is a custom build of mine. This is, we call it the HMS Cyclone. HMS because Her Majesty's ship, because it's Bricklandia is located off the coast of Plymouth, off the coast of Great Britain. I don't know why, that's just what Ben wanted, so that's why all our cars are on the left. So this was named, the Cyclone roller coaster we have in an amusement park was actually named after this. I was actually going to call this a Hurricane class, and this would be the HMS Hurricane. But they wanted to name the roller coaster after it. So this is the HMS Cyclone. This started out as one of the yellow submarines. I don't have the cover here with me. The really neat Aquanaut Raiders submarine. Small little two-man submersible submarine. Really cool piece. I bought that and was just going to add a few windows. A few of these windows and extend it a little bit. And you can see what the result is. I didn't intend for it, it just kind of kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so this is it. I bought a second one of those subs and just made a few light modifications, got rid of the shooting thing underneath. And it's really cool next one. Unfortunately, that's already packed. That set, I got two new sets on eBay for only 100 bucks each. So it's a really good deal because so many Lego things are so out of control. So this is 3 feet long, actually just over 3 feet long, about 37, a little over 37 inches long. And the goal was to make there's no good sub toys, there really aren't. The G.I. Joe toy sub is not for figures. There's a new inexpensive brand that has actually a pretty neat action figure sub, but there was never growing up a cool sub toy. So I wanted to make a really cool Lego sub. It's based on my love of the 4 best subs of all time. The Nautilus, the Seaview, the Red October, and the real Typhoon. I actually like the real Typhoon more than the Red October model, even though I have both. And Sequest. So you can really see the Seaview influence here, and the Typhoon overall. It's kind of built like the real Typhoon. You can really see it in the con tower here, or the sail, I think it's now called. And here, the removable skiff life pod is kind of like Nautilus. There's really not a lot you can see in the Nautilus and the Sequest, but again, I didn't plan it, I just made it up as we go along, and it's a pretty cool ship. We're pretty happy with it. I think it came out pretty good, pretty unique. So it's very long, so I'm going to have to do some cuts and stuff. So, okay, a couple things. There are cheats on this. I did have to modify some bricks, and a lot of this here is glued because there's just too many pieces. I tried this, all opens up, and no matter what configuration I put them in, single, all together, they just couldn't hold. It's just too much because it's coming up out of the angle here when you open these. So I just finally gave up and glued. So there's a lot of glue in here holding these together. This would just pop out if you breathed on this thing. Parts fell off. So some stuff is glued. And there are some modified parts. Just a few. I really try to avoid that because it just takes the fun out of it. I don't like modifying. So a few up in here to kind of seal it are modified. So, okay, so let me see what I can do from here. It's got some really cool features. So this pops off, this front area here. This is the front observation area, so that just comes right off. The whole roof comes off, the sides come off. So let me open the sides first, and hopefully nothing will break. So you can see here, and I'll cut to some close-up shots. Both sides fold down, so there's a full bridge. The galley is here, and you drop down to the observation level here. There is a rising periscope here, so that actually comes up to minifig view and comes up there. It's pretty cool. There's a hatch here, and again, I'll do this all in close-ups. And this entire thing just pops right off, so the roof pops off, but then you can also just pop this tower off and set it there to make it look like it's coming up out of the water. We've got the world's first, well, I don't know if it's the world's first, our first fully nude minifigures, because we have a shower in here. And the kids felt that no minifig should be, see, this popped off. This should open up right here. The kids really wanted the minifigure, looks like more glue, to be naked in the shower because nobody takes a shower with shorts on. So we actually had to order yellow hips because I didn't have any. And we modified it quite a bit. So anyway, that just popped right off there. So that's what I'm talking about as far as the amount. But this normally just opens right up. And so you can see, I can go ahead and take this section off. You can see there's bunks in there. There's 4 bunks. Okay. This has got a pop-off escape vehicle that also works as a secondary lounge. So this comes right up, and there's 5 seats, but you can cram more in there. There's a little opening, so when it's down in the sub, it's like this. So you climb up over the seats, kind of like a ladder. And so you can go up in here and quietly observe. You're looking for a quiet place, you can observe here, but also it's the escape hatch. So you do that, you close it there, and then, sorry, this keeps popping off. Oh, looks like another thing for super glue. And then this pops up and goes to the surface in case the sub has been destroyed. And then back here, and again, I'll do this all in close-ups, this opens up, and this whole part, the section with a full bathroom and shower and dive gear, opens up. And then this pops off the back to expose the engine section, which of course today does not want to come off. There we go. And only this little tail section back here is the only thing that's really left from the original sub. Everything else is gone. The tail section has mostly been, but I did make some improvements on this because this is the, geez, everything's coming off today. This is the rear section. This has been modified to have the tail fin and whatnot. But otherwise, this is more or less the engine section. I don't think I changed much. That's about it, though. Everything else, as you can tell, is pretty extensively changed. So you got that. So this whole thing can come off. This roof can come off and just lifts right out of there. So you can have access to play. This here is your top section. It's pretty cool. It came out pretty nice. Again, this is your lowering and raising periscope that goes down into the pit and then raises up when somebody wants to watch it. Various antennas. There's 2 hatches. There's one in here. I don't know if you can see it, I hope. And one here. And there's a fold down ladder right here. So when you're going into the sub, how you actually get into the sub is through these hatches. There's one here and one here. And that's how you get into the hatch to get into the submarine. So, whoops, my chain popped off. So there's some hose work there and some detail, but yeah, that's how you actually get into the sub. So the ladders go right here and here, you can see. So, and right behind the captain's chair and the galley there. And then if you want, you can pop, this whole thing just pops right off. It does, you got to pull sorry, I'm terrible with these videos. I keep thinking I'm going to be able to make a good video. So you can take the sail, it's called the sail, I always called it the conning tower, but I guess it's actually called the sail. And you can put it on there so it looks like this, it's just coming up out of the water. So that's a fun option. And then now the interior is now both sides fold completely down. She opens way up. This all opens up too, so you can have lots of fun. So I'm going to have to do the next one probably by hand. So I will cut to it and we'll do a review by hand. Alright, so here she is all disassembled. I'll just start in the front and work your way back. So that's the lounge area. There's 2 lounge chairs right here. And then this is the observation area where you can come stand in front. And then you can see the galley. There's a little piece of equipment there. And then there's the galley, custom-made galley for the ship. Some cooking supplies, a stove, sink, etc. So, a little staircase down there. And we'll eventually add more detail. I just had to get to a stopping point on this. So there's the little bridge over, because there's storage under there you can use, to the helm and con chair. And this is the helmsman and the navigator. And they each have a screen that would be lit up with, you know, various information. They've got controls and stuff there for the submarine. And there's what's called the Christmas tree. And if it's all green, that means the lights are all green. It means you're all sealed up and ready to go. And if it's red, that means something's open and you're going to sink and die if you try to dive. So all the lights have to be green before the sub submerges. So that's common on all submarines. I think now they're more fancy electronics, but they were just literally a row of green and red lights, and it's called the Christmas tree. This is the captain. Very cool chair I made. I'm sorry, the captain, I don't care what's on a real submarine, the captain of any ship has to have a really cool chair. And so I custom designed this one based on ideas I saw on eBay. It's pretty darn cool. I mean, not eBay, the internet. It's pretty cool, I think. I think that I'm real happy with how this whole thing turned out. So there's a neat workstation back here. Again, it's got a really cool sticker off the original sub. And then I put pieces and parts on there to make it look cool. The clock and all this, and the map and the little arm there for reading it. The pit right there is where the periscope goes. Then you work your way down some stairs to some railings. So you drop down very narrow quarters, just like a real submarine. And this is a close-up of the bed section. We've got 4 bunk beds, and again, different tiles to make little beds, sheets, and stuff. Got a dive mast there. Each place has a night light and a little shelf for drinks and personal items. I don't know where the lights are on the top bunk. They must have gone back. Each person has a locker down there. There's 4 lockers going across the bottom. If you can see them there, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So each person has a little bed and a little space. There's another little just miscellaneous control thingy and dials there. So that's the bedroom, the crew quarters. And then you'll notice too, this is not a military vessel. This is an exploration and research vessel. And then it gives tours. It is not a military vessel. There's no weapons on this. So here's the bathroom. There's equipment storage for diving. You can see the little sink in here. And the red green lights you'll see throughout the build are very common for various things like, you know, maybe red occupied, green available. And then if you look here, this door just comes out. It does open. But you can't really see, so I had to make it removable. And this is our, don't ask me why the kids insisted. This is our naked crew member showering. So I actually I couldn't find a plain white, so I had to sand off the whatever was on here. And we ended up with 2 of them because there were 2 hips just to be safe. And so we have actually 2 naked crew. So you can see the shower there. Pretty simple, pretty tiny, little drain at the bottom, handle, spout. And it's shown the sink. And then here is our potty. And again, I don't know why this crewman is going to the bathroom naked. But, so the door, again, like the shower, you have to take it off. And she maybe, I don't know. And there's our little toilet paper, little stuff down there. So, you know, that took some doing, pretty small. And then here's the engine. Again, I think I added a couple little tools, but basically the engine is untouched. It's pretty much like it was on the Aquanaut Raider 2-man submersible. So, okay, so I think that's everything. I think next I'm going to put it back together and just get some shots of just the sub, how it looks from different angles. But overall, it's pretty nifty, I think. I'm pretty proud of it. It's original, hadn't seen anything. I get a lot of ideas off the internet, but this was kind of all ours. So, all right. So let me cut to the other shots here. Okay, so I'm about to close it up, but I wanted to show if it shows here. So there's the periscope in the pit, and then it rises up to get to the level where it can be used by the minifigs, and then back down. So the hole it goes through is not watertight, but as my wife reminds me, it doesn't actually have to really be watertight. Yeah, let me just see if I can get this in here with one hand. Okay, it's very sturdy. You can actually hold the thing up with one hand, just hold it up, because there are a gazillion plates down here, because it had to be sturdy. I couldn't risk it falling apart every time. So you can literally hold it up with one hand. The bow does not break. Okay, so I'm just going to do kind of a shot around here, and you know, come along here, hopefully. She's very big, so it's very hard to get it videotaped well, but get the idea here. And let's get a nice, whoop, got the real world showing there. So you can see kind of here how she looks. You don't want to see that coming down bearing on you, even though it is a friendly vessel. Again, there's just, Bricklandia is a little idealistic, so there's no more idealized, there's no military. We got the Super Friends and the Avengers visit and a good police force, so we're covered for what little crime there is. So we just don't need to weaponize everything. I know there's a lot of really cool military submarine Legos, but I didn't look at any of those because I was doing something totally different. I didn't want it to be military. I wanted it to be friendly. Very Disneylandish. Very definitely inspired by the Disneyland rides, the submarine rides. So, okay. So I think You can just do one kind of over the top here, and that will cover it. Trying to go smooth because shaky videos make me real nauseous. So, alright. I hope you enjoy the HMS Cyclone, and someday hopefully we can all take a ride on it.